Hello, hopefully you can hear me. Welcome to Wednesday. Yeah, I wish I smelled chocolate too. uh, this is your midweek mindfulness meditation time. Appreciate everyone showing up for that. Usually we start a little early, but today I'm just running behind in general. No, you have not, no need to adjust your calendars. I said I would be posting on Substack at the start of the month, and I haven't. Uh, that was because I had kind of an oh crap moment where I realized I got to pay my taxes. And so took care of that over the weekend, but took most of my weekend, unfortunately. And yeah, so it'll happen eventually. um, but yeah, so thank you for being here. If you don't know me, I'm a certified mindfulness meditation coach through Unified Mindfulness. I'm a software engineer by trade and training, and a meditator out of the circumstance of life. And folks that do know me from a coaching perspective will probably know me as the sometimes guest host and oftentimes moderator, along with Fred in the chat. Welcome, Fred. On the Do Nothing Project, Sunday nights at 8 Eastern, I think. And then this is, Fred reminded me last week, this is our last Wednesday at 7:15 Eastern, because Arizona moves. So I should say, Arizona doesn't move. Everyone else moves, which means that we stay on Mountain Standard Time all the time. And Mountain Standard Time during daylight savings is equal to Pacific. So I will be on the same time zone as Ruth starting next week. So I'll post a lot about this, but so that means that we'll move back an hour for everybody who isn't in Arizona. And thank you. Yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to say about that. I'm like so scattered today. Are we gonna pick a card today? We could. I think I think Fred called it. It'll be sea flow, which is what it seems to always be. But yeah, we'll give that a whirl. Yeah, I'm up for that. All right, and then if we get Joker, I'll let Catherine pick. How about that? So, and then I was trying to explain that times are changing. It's our time for it's that time of year where we do an unsanctioned experiment on all of humanity, where we pretend like time is not real, when in fact time is not real all the time. I don't know what the CCE is. Yes, so E is for equanimity in CCE, right? Oh, the giant E in the background, yeah. So Susan Greger gave me that, and it's a chunk of a they call it a California work drawer. That's what they hold type in, but somebody took it and turned it into a word cloud. So, and actually, if I remember, I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it on Instagram. So, and you can see the Sinclair dinosaur, and it's not just a green poop bag. So that's always nice. So there you go. And then I'm going to shuffle the cards just so that when Seaflow pops up, we can all get a good laugh. It does still look like a poop bag, but oh well. some sometimes Fidelity. Oh, this is hilarious. So I was shuffling the cards and look at the card that popped out. How hilarious is that? Okay. Now I haven't drawn yet, but we can guarantee right now C-Flow is not going to be it. But that is a crazy. I am not good at magic tricks, but that's hilarious. All right. So, and for those that are new, at some point I took a deck of cards and I started writing the unified mindfulness techniques on them, and then we were just pulling cards out, and that's the thing we did. So as a coach, it's kind of fun because I have no idea what I'm going to guide you in. But as somebody else, it might not. I don't know. It might be irritating. I don't know. Oh, Joker. All right. So, Catherine, what technique do you want to do? We'll wait. All your poop bags are green. Okay. All right. So we pulled a Joker. All right. Well, I colored a Joker too. And if we don't want to do that, then we're going to do autofocus, which is kind of funny for me to do this because it's autofocus, right? I don't know. Is that annoying yet? All right. So, oh, is Paul not here? Oh, Paul is here in spirit. Oh, okay. Catherine's choice. I wish, yeah, autofocus is DMP basically. So yeah, so for those while we're waiting, for those, okay, we're gonna do body awareness. Sounds good. We'll do, we'll do just feel. So, or feel out would be the equivalent of that. So, real quick. So Ruth just said, isn't autofocus like Do Nothing Project? And the answer is yes. So autofocus is another term for the Do Nothing technique. And the idea is that you're allowing your concentration to land on wherever it lands, and you're present with it. So slight bit, you can tune it a little if you wanted to, like with all the techniques. So all right, feel out. That's what we're doing. And we're taking a little bit longer to get to my technique than I normally do. So, but all right. So, so what does that mean? Feel out. So we can think of we can think of experience. There's ways for us to group or lump together experience. We have see as visual. So that's both exterior, out, seeing out into the world. And then there's also the mental image in our minds, or mental images in the mind. Aphantasia is the condition where you actually see words, you don't see images. So if you have that, then you wouldn't necessarily see images on, you wouldn't have mental imagery in the same exact way. And then there's hear, so auditory, hear out, and hear in. Hear in would be, we would also could refer to hear in as mental talk. And that would be, for lack of a better term, like the auditory sounds you hear in your head. And then there is feel. And so we have feel in would be emotional body sensations, often in the torso. So in the chest, the belly, where you feel most of the, maybe the edge of the skin. And then there is feel out, and that is physical body sensations. We can include the breath in feel out. So if you're like, oh my God, you just said all this stuff, I don't even want to hear any of that. Cool. I got you covered. We'll do breath meditation for that. So if you're like just the simplest thing, that. But I'm going to give you guidance around feel out is what we have picked. So it's a lot of words. Thank you for your patience. I do not have 25 minutes on the clock, but I will have it very briefly here. All right, it's 25 minutes on the clock. You can see my tabs. It's kind of interesting. All right. All right, so we will have room for questions and comments and reports at the end, hopefully. About 10 minutes of that. So I'll invite the bell and we'll begin. Thank you for choosing, Catherine. All right. All right. So we'll just begin as I often like to invite you to do, and that's just to start with the foundation of your posture. So I will guide around the seated posture, either seated in a chair like I am, or on a cushion or on a bench. You could be lying down, you could be walking, you could be standing, all perfectly valid. But I'll focus on the seated posture. And really, with the seated posture, we're really just going for upright without being uptight. So the mind wants us to know, am I doing this right? If you are upright and you're not forcing your body upright, you're naturally upright, you are correct. And then just kind of taking your inner temperature. What is it like to be you right now? So are you feeling like you might be getting sick? Are you feeling a little sluggish? Are you feeling raring to go? And just acknowledging what it's like to be in the body right now. And we're not trying to change anything or micromanage our experience, just acknowledging what it's like right now. And then finally, just a couple of deliberate breaths. Slow and low is the tempo that we're going for. Breathing in through the nose allows us to really slow that breath down. And then the slowness allows us to go really low into the belly. And when the inhale turns around and becomes the exhale, just seeing if we can slow it down. And then slowing that exhale allows us to extend and accentuate. And I'm going to offer that feel out technique, but just pointing a little bit of a waypoint here for you. Just sitting and knowing that you're sitting, or feeling the physicality of the body as a starting point for a body awareness or a focusing on the external sensations of the body. So if you get lost with the structure of the technique, no worries. Just come back to this sitting and knowing that you're sitting aspect. So with feel out, we can allow ourselves to concentrate within the physical sensations of the body. And this is a noting technique, meaning that we're noticing where our attention is, soaking our attention into that, and then labeling optionally feel. We may notice that our concentration got pulled away and we're outside of feel out. That's okay. That's a moment of waking up. Like, my attention's too far out. And bring it back to the body and then start over. And again, just allowing our concentration to be anywhere in the body, noticing what we're drawn to in the body. Maybe it's the pressure points, maybe it's the feet. And again, like I said, maybe it's the breath. And really concentrating all in on that, and then labeling feel. And so I'll let you get your rhythm with that noting technique and then check in a bit. And so you always have the option to drop the labels. That's why I mentioned the label feel is optional. There's a sort of knowing when you're noticing where your concentration is. So the label is meant to support. So if you feel like that label interferes with you really having strong connection to that, you can always drop that. And you can go the other way, and you can increase the frequency of the label if that helps. So if you want more support in that regard. And the last note is just if your attention is pulled away and you're losing concentration, bringing it back. Every time you do that, that's a strengthening of concentration power. Strengthening of concentration power. So if the fact that you're getting pulled away is sort of eroding and kind of bringing your morale down, just giving you a reminder that you're making that concentration power stronger with each return. All right, so keep going. Excuse me. So if you feel like you're in a groove, you're always welcome to continue. But this is the moment where I let you know that this is your opportunity to put the technique up on the shelf and be done with it for this sit and shift into do nothing. And with do nothing, we're letting go of our intentions to control our attention. And we're just allowing our attention to wander, roam as it sees fit. And if you notice an intention to control that attention, of seeing if you can drop it. And if you've dropped it 2 or 3 times, then that's sort of part of what the attention wants to do. So shifting into do nothing. Our sit has ended. I will signal that with the bell. Thank you for your practice. May our actions be for the benefit of all beings. All right. You're incredibly welcome, Mike G. Yeah, I totally didn't didn't say hi to everybody as normal. I think there's a few folks that popped in today that glad to have you back. So I think I've said this before, but Feel Out is one of my go-tos. Just Feel is another one that I've spent a lot of time kind of like those are some of my favorites. So good choice, Catherine. And you're incredibly welcome, Brian and Gabrielle. All right, so Jeff is your guide this weekend. Trying to think of anything else. And then the time change. So, well, all y'all are springing forward. I agree, Ruth. Appreciate it, Ian. And I generally try to remember to say, but thank you for spending part of your Wednesday or your Thursday morning for our Aussie folks. Awesome, Catherine. Well, I'm glad that I'm glad you enjoyed it, and it was a good match. Let's see. So time change next week. So it'll be 8:15 Eastern. Sorry. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Paul. So I posted this at the very end of the Do Nothing project because I just found it. This is a hilarious name for a meditation group. So he is teaching tomorrow with the Sit Heads. And that is, again, tomorrow. That is 5:30 Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern. And the link is right there. So that's that. It'll be, the email will go out probably tomorrow, but I'm going to do a Saturday morning check-in this Saturday on Zoom. So it'll be just we'll do a short practice together, probably 10-15 minutes, and then open discussion. We'll meet for an hour, assuming that I don't start late. So that will be, I don't have a time yet for that on Saturday, but it will be Saturday morning. Yes, and happy birthday to Ruth. I think I sang happy birthday to Ruth last year, and I think that Ruth's internet connection cut out in the middle of it. So I will save us from my rendition of happy birthday again. Thank you to everyone who keeps watching the Wabi Sabi clock. The Wabi Sabi clock is the view count keeps going up, so I appreciate that. So I'm glad you got a chance to listen to the recording, Ruth. Thank you. So yeah, a mindfulness post on Substack at some point, and then Saturdays. So the hope is Saturdays, and there are 5 of them actually in March. So that one of those times will hopefully work for folks. And it'll be early-ish. So probably like 11. So it'll be 11 Eastern, which will make it 9 my time the first week and 8 my time after that. So that's the provisional time. If you don't get if you don't get emails from me, and today I sent the email with like 30 minutes to spare, you can send me an email at that email address and I'll add you. So, post to Substack coming soon. Saturday morning check-ins for the month of March. So practice, open discussion. And then I have a journaling prompt thing for the next 30 days. It will not start on March 1st like I had planned, but this is what happens when you're developing a curriculum, I think. And so yeah. And so that so if you're getting my Wednesday reminder emails, then you're on the list for getting the info about Zoom. And then yeah, I think that so journaling prompts. I'm recording a video right now. I'm lifting, stealing, inspired by Linda Berry. And so it's a composition style notebook with an X page, or we draw an X on the page and then different sections of the X for different things around mindfulness. So playing around with that. The other thing is that I was imagining that I would just start peppering everybody with links, because that's what I do. We're like, oh, there's this book and there's this book and there's this podcast and there's this video series. And so that made me dial back a little bit what I was trying to do. And then that collapsed when I realized I had to do my taxes. So anyway, I will try not to make too many excuses. But yeah, so that'll be coming soon. There's baseball in Tucson tomorrow night. So I'm gonna go and keep score, because I love to keep score at a baseball game. It is like the most mindfulness thing you could possibly do at a baseball game. And I don't know who's playing, but it's part of the qualifiers for next year's 2026 World Classic. So I'm super excited about that. And then I'll see folks that can on Saturday, and then those that can't, I potentially will see Fred, and I will see you in chat on Sunday. So there you go. And there's 2 minutes to spare before the top of the hour. Cool. So time change, I will remind folks about that. You'll see things on the socials, and then I will post a picture of that when I can get it sufficiently lit. And that will be on Instagram, and you can go look for that leonards.coaching. Yes, Sunday, Jets versus Lenny Cars, Robosaurus. You'll pay for the whole seat. You'll only need the edge. There you go. Not that anyone needed my Sunday voice, but yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see some folks on Saturday. Bye now.